They just name.
You know what I will say? I've seen you fight on Frank Warren shows before. You fought on a Birmingham show. And yeah, it was at the Utilita.
Yeah, so if it was the first ever one I had, I was dreadful. So if you watched me in it, or did I stop? I stopped 2 lads at Birmingham. But either way, the first ever one I boxed there, I was dreadful, flat as a pancake. But the second one I boxed like a lad called Janjanin, and I stopped him with a body shot, and that was a good performance. But that's one of my first ones there.
So you're a fighter. Sorry, guys, forget me manners. I'm joined by the champion, the man who took the belts off Denzel Bentley, courtesy of Queensberry Promotions. It's Nathan Heaney, Stoke's very own, as I've been corrected. It's part of the West Mids too.
Yeah, it certainly is, yeah. So, no, it was a fantastic night on the 18th of November. Great night for BCB with all the lads who brought some massive titles back to the Midlands, and obviously I brought the British title and kept the WBA Continental title back in Stoke.
The one thing I will say is I watched your post-fight interview. I watched the fight because I did a live watch-along for it. Yeah. Your post-fight interview was very, very touching. You know, sometimes you as a boxer, you can win fans from your performance, how you are in the ring. But what caught my eye with you is your post-fight interview when you brought up your dad.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I think you'll see a contrasting personality from then to now. I'm a bit more calm now. After a fight, I'm absolutely buzzing, like unreal. But obviously I had the tash. Everyone thought I had it from November, but I didn't say it for my dad because he had the tash when he was an amateur boxer. So I just did it for that one night. So, but because I did so well in the last, I thought to myself, I might have to keep that in the future. But no, it was good. It was a bit. I didn't really get emotional, to be fair, in the post fight. But I was that buzzing. Like Frank Warren was speaking at times, and I'm like looking at the camera with me, British title, going, look at that, look. I was like, sorry Frank. But yeah, it's just the energy was so good that night.
That energy that you brought, but the thing is, that champion, that fighter mindset, even though everything that you've been through, you still managed to come through that fight, come through many fights. But what an achievement. And like I said, it's certain things that you said, like, I know my dad would be proud. It's certain things like that pull the heartstrings of us fans.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Like you say, I've always thought to myself, particularly with the things I've gone through and stuff, that I've always considered myself mentally pretty strong. Like boxing, really. Although you get nervous and stuff, and you can over-analyse things and get a bit anxious, in the grand scheme of things, it's nothing in comparison to the other things that are happening in your life or things have happened to other people. So, yeah, it's weird. Like, boxing's easy, really, although it's not. It's just in comparison to the different things.
Talk to us about that fight then. You've gone in as the underdog. You know, people are not writing you off, because I never write a fighter off, but you're thinking, okay, Denzel's been up to world level. He's got that experience. Let's see how this fight goes out. So the lead up, everything going up to that fight, talk us through your experience.
Yeah, so like you didn't write me off, but trust me, a lot of people completely wrote me off. And in a 2-horse race, you really can't. But I think people just thought I was going to be another Kieran Smith. He was going to walk in there, blast me out straight away. But I've been boxing for so long, 23 years I've been competing, right? So I've done it a very long time, and so I knew I've got like little tricks of the trade to make sure I can escape certain scenarios, or I can take a shot, which you should never want to take a shot, but I've got a decent chin, to be honest. But yeah, in the build-up to it, it's one of them, like I'd mentioned it in the weigh-in the day before, he'd fought at world level and domestic level, but he'd failed at those levels as well. So although you get the experience from it, which is great, he'd still felt the emotional attachment he might have to losing. Like, I did not want to lose that fight, because I knew if I was to wake up the next morning or go back to that changing room and do what I normally do, but as a loser, I couldn't. I don't think I could accept it. Now, one day I'll most likely will lose as I go through the levels, but by the time that comes, hopefully I've done everything I wanted to do anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it was a weird one. Just I listened to Steve all the way through, and we were confident what we were going to do. Whether the bookies and that ripped me off didn't really matter, because I knew what I could potentially do. I just had to apply it on the night, which I did.
That mentality of kind of like brushing out that white noise and not listening to what people are saying, and like you said, knowing your capabilities, listening to your coach. Is it that easy to do?
You've almost got no choice. You've almost got no choice because if all your... But on the flip side for Bentley, so if he's looking at comments online, so I'm looking from my perspective, all I'm seeing is this: Heaney's going to get knocked out in 3 rounds. Heaney's going to get knocked out in 2 rounds. There's no way this is going the distance. It's a mismatch. It's this and that. So from my perspective, I've got to think to myself, I've got to use that as fuel, as not as a negative thing. But you could use it as negative, but look, I don't. But then if you're Bentley and you're seeing Heaney's going to get knocked out in 3 rounds, 2 rounds, well, then you get this positive thing that's not reality based in reality. So it's the complete opposite. So you've got to filter both of them out because it's positive for Bentley, but it's negative for me. But depending on how you take it, it works either way. If you get what I'm saying, yeah. So I don't know if you would have had anyone saying to him, "Listen, Heaney, he's quite good." Like, I'm not saying, but like, let's say he's got ability. If you don't do the right thing, it could be a nightmare. No one thought that. Everyone just thought he was going to walk in there and blast me out. And I don't know if there was any other scenario based around not knocking me out, to be honest. But I just did what I needed to do, and I was very awkward on the night.
Yeah, talk to us about that awkwardness. I mean, at one point you didn't do a backflip, but you you did like a yeah. I mean, what was going on there?
That was just that. I think that was just showing exactly my mindset on the night. After 2 or 3 rounds, my hands were by my waist. Yeah, I was just enjoying it. Now, would you recommend putting your hands down by your waist with one of the biggest punches in the division? Probably not, but I was just moving. I could see the shots coming. I was keeping the range. I probably got underrated ability in that regard. At least I proved on the night I can do it. But it was just, yeah, but when he... Because what it was, I think I wound him up because I tried to do a little Pernell Whitaker thing behind the back of me. So I went through a shot. So he hit me on the back of the head. And then, but as I'm falling, I thought to myself, I'm going to flip up here. So I rolled once more, and then flipped up. And then if anyone thought I was tired, I think that was the proof that I wasn't. So I was feeling great in the fight. So I was just enjoying it. And like you said about the entertainment side of things, ideally I'm entertaining people when I walk in the ring, when I'm fighting. And then, like you said, afterwards, and I'm not trying to entertain people in a post-fight interview, but if people are entertained, then great, it helps a little bit.
You talked about a part where you started to drop your hands, like that confidence is starting to set in now. You're realising that you can take his power, evade his punches. You're starting to get that upper hand. Later on in the fight, as the rounds are going on, he's still not going anywhere. You're still not going anywhere. Does that start to wane your confidence, or do you still keep running with that momentum?
No, same with the momentum. I just knew. I just had to make sure that, because in my head, I was thinking I was at least 6 or 7 rounds up, maybe even more. I in the fight itself, I thought I'd give away 3 rounds. Because I say give away because I wouldn't say he particularly won the rounds. It's just I wasn't being as effective before when I was countering and coming with shots. So, but because he can punch, I knew I had to be switched on for the whole time. But I was, like I say, I was still keeping the range. I could just see what he was doing. So there's always that danger that you could probably walk into one, which I probably nearly did. There was one right hook that he threw and he caught me. But luckily, because I sort of met him and dug in myself, he probably didn't realise he caught me with a good shot. I mean, I wasn't hurt, but it was a good shot. So, but I suppose that's what you have to do in boxing. You have to play the old poker face and just do what you need to do. But no, I know he was dangerous. That's why Steve was so thingy in my corner, like, stay switched on, keep using your feet. Because he knew, he said, don't throw it away for one big shot. Because you could do at that level. So it would have been horrible to have done so well and then got put on my arse. Because you only need 10-8 round. And then, to be honest, I would have lost on one of the guy's cards if that was the case. Because one was a draw, which I thought was crazy, but it is what it is, isn't it?
As you know, judging is very subjective. It just depends on what they're looking for, who they favour. You might even have secret biases as judges. Who knows? But the fact is that you took his belts. Yeah. What is next for yourself?
I'll be speaking with Frank and George on Monday, so hopefully we can go through everything then. But like I mentioned, the winner was, Frank said the winner will fight for a world title next year. Now I know they would have been lining Bentley up to fight for Janabek because they most likely thought, although they knew it was a competitive fight, they probably thought the Bentley was going to come through the winner. So that would have just kept things moving smoothly and he fights Janabek. But now I would like to take that spot. Like, Janabek's dangerous as anything. He's a world champion. Well, IBF and WBO, I think. But if you're fighting for a world title, it doesn't really matter because it's an honour to do that. So, yeah, that's what I'd love to happen next. But who knows?
Listen, and absolutely massive congratulations to you. Thanks for the invite. It's lovely to actually stand up there with, you know, all that gold, all the shiny stuff. Keep motivating people because, like I said, that post-fight interview that you had with Frank Warren, it was an eye-opener, and it was just like, hold on a minute. If he can come through adversity like that, and he can come away with a win, he can do it with his smile on his face, you really don't know who you're speaking to out there.
Yeah, well, yeah. And if it has helped anyone, fantastic. Like, I just do my best.
Nathan, thank you so much for your time. October Red, Nathan Heaney. Get behind him on his social media, which is
Nathan Heaney, Nathan Hitman Heaney on Instagram, I think, and same Nathan Heaney on Twitter and Nathan Hitman Heaney on Facebook. But yeah, thank you very much.
People say I'm toxic, and honestly, I don't care.